crowd no matter what.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
I still don't.
We don't need Steve. Get up there.
Oh, he'll be here in a second.
Well, we're live right now, so just to call an order.
Hey, it's your turn. The mayor's in the building.
Come on, Steve, we're live.
Looks like you might be all right. I think it's
Are you serious?
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have not been here before, we start our meetings with a pledge to our flag. I'll ask you to stand and join in that pledge, and then remain standing for the prayer. But if you would please stand, join Councilman Guthrie in our pledge to our country and our flag.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Pastor, would you, everybody remain standing? Pastor, would you lead us in prayer?
God, we come to you asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to grow closer as the people of Guthrie and to nurture the bonds of community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that might affect the government leaders, city staff, the businesses, and citizens of Guthrie, Oklahoma. Continue to remind us that all we do here today, all we seek to accomplish is for the pursuit of truth, doing the right things for the greater glory of you and for the service of humanity. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Call to order our Guthrie Public Works Authority meeting of July 18th. First item is call to order. Second item is public comments, community announcements, and recognitions. And that requires a statement that's listed, forms that's provided outside, identifying the topic that the speaker would like to address. And we have a number that are addressing the same or a similar event, in this case, the Pride event. And I've asked that unless there is, if each speaker has the same perspective, that they would have a common representative for their group. I've been told they each have a little bit different perspective, so we'll be calling them as they've listed, have listed on the form. First, I'd like to let's see here.
You also write down we're not allowed to respond.
Yeah, the Councilman Ropp has reminded me that the Open Meetings Act restricts the response from the council. It's not a discussion. It's the individual citizens are relaying information, which we appreciate their perspective and they're relaying their information, but there will not be discussion on the particular topic that's identified. I think first I'd like Charles Downs to come forward, and he would like to speak about the Korean,
Couple different things, sir.
Korean War celebration or recognition.
Yes. But before I do that, sir, good evening. Like the mayor said, I'm Charlie Downs, the commander of the American Legion, LeBron Post 58 here in Guthrie. I wanted to thank the city of Guthrie, the city council, and especially Vice Mayor Geary for presenting the proclamation to the American Legion National Commander Triola upon his recent visit to our post and to Guthrie. I've received several compliments from our state vice commander and the current state commander about his visit and about how we hosted the national commander here in Guthrie. And I wanted to thank you for being there and reading the proclamation. That was, to me, that was the highlight of their visit to Oklahoma. I had so many compliments on it.
Good job, Grant.
You did a good job.
There you go.
The American Legion also has a program called Be the One. Be the one to ask veterans in your life how they're doing. Be the one to listen when a veteran needs to talk. Be the one to reach out when a veteran is struggling. That campaign was Commander Triola's campaign that he started last year and is working really well. And in honor of the program, I would like to present to Mayor Gentling, who is also a member of our post, a small gift as a thank you for support of the American Legion, for everything that he's done in the past. And this is a Be the One flask, and you can fill it with whatever you want. Also,
It is Em.
it is.
You can take that on your fishing trip.
I also have a small gift for Vice Mayor Geary for his support and for his
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
We're going to be having at our post, in association with the Korean War Veterans ceremony, in conjunction with the Korean American Association, that will be presenting Ambassador of Peace medals to Korean War veterans. And I'd like to turn the rest of that portion over to Kim Vincent, our post adjutant and our current vice commander. And I think I signed her up on the sheet also, so.
Yes, she is signed up.
Thank you. I'll just take a minute. We've been working on this ceremony for the last few months, trying to identify, our goal was 12 veterans who served during the Korean War, but we have identified 31. We have 17 who are previously deceased, 12 living, and 2 who were killed in action, including one of Commander Downs' uncles. This ceremony is coming up quickly, and we've already been in communications with people for a future ceremony upcoming in November. So we are humbled and honored for this opportunity to recognize them. We have families coming from California, Texas, Missouri, Kansas, and quite a few here from Guthrie, Perry, Norman, and Edmond. So I just wanted to thank you for your support with us at the American Legion. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. 31 Korean War veterans. That's a pretty significant number to be identified. Okay. Next person signed up, Jerry Bullock. Jerry? And you wanted to speak about the elbow privatization project.
Yes, I'm Jerry Bullock. I'm a 5th generation descendant of that area over there that's overgrown. A lot of people don't know that there was something there at one point, but it was a community, so I'm a 5th generation descendant. I just wanted to introduce myself and take an active role, more active role in the revitalization project and possibly trying to recruit other descendants. Still looking, they're out there, few and far between, but we're still out there. I don't know if any of you are involved with the project intimately, but I've met a couple people so far, and so I just wanted to introduce myself and get to meet people and try and make some connections and make something happen with what's going on over there. That's it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, a number of individuals have signed up to speak about the Pride event. Pastor John, you want to start, if you would, please?
Thank you, Mayor Gentling. My name is John Borrego. I'm a retired priest of the Episcopal Church. I've lived at Guthrie for about 17 years now. And I'd just like to say a few words about the Pride event that took place on June the 24th, mostly to thank the city, the council, the police department, the animal shelter, all of whom made this the joyous event that it really was. On behalf of Stephanie Fortney and John Pagonis, who were very much involved in organizing this, they couldn't be here this evening, so you got me instead. But it was a very joyful event, and everyone enjoyed it, and it was, we felt very, very pleased and honored that we had the support of the city for this. So again, thank you, all of you, very, very much. And police also. And I don't know if there's an animal shelter person here. I don't see any puppies, but anyway, so they were a big part of it also. So again, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Pastor. Kara Sawyer? Oops, Caitlin. Caitlin Swanger.
Do we still say our name and?
Yes, but not your you don't say your address, just
Just
you're a
name, no.
citizen of Guthrie.
Okay. Can you hear? Is this? Hello.
It's working.
It's been a minute. Okay. So my name is Kaylin Swanger. A lot of you might know me. I've lived in Guthrie for about 8 years now with my family. I personally, but my family as well, in that time have volunteered and worked extensively within this community. I want to emphatically say here tonight that I am not here. I don't believe any of us are here tonight to give bigotry even one more second of airtime. We're done with giving bigotry even one more second of airtime. With my time, I am speaking directly to everybody else. Specifically, I am speaking to my neighbors who are living in fear or shame because of who they are. And those hiding who they are because they have nowhere and no one safe. I want everyone to look at me. This is me. I'm Caitlin. This is what I look like. I live in this town. I am safe. If you are not safe, I am a safe place for you to come. A lot of my friends here in this room tonight would agree with me. They are safe. We understand and we are safe. We have resources and you are not alone. I would like to use 30 seconds of my time, if agreeable by the council, just for a moment of silence, 30 seconds of silence for the 1.5 million queer youth who have committed suicide in the last decade. If that is okay with everybody, we will start that right now. Go. Done. Thank you. Thank you for everyone respecting that 30 seconds. I will end my time just by saying that studies show that even just one affirming person can reduce the risk of suicide by 40%. One person. And I challenge every single person in this room, regardless religion, station, creed, challenge yourself to be that one person for somebody. Thank you.
know how long 5 minutes is. I know that when I have preached a sermon, I go way over 5 minutes. So if you'll give me a heads up at 4:30, I'd be grateful.
I've got it right here.
My name is Kara Sawyer. I've been a citizen of this community for 21 plus years, and I am grateful that I get to have a chance for the first time in my entire citizenship here to be able to speak to you. What I'm disappointed about is that we actually weren't to be on your agenda tonight. We came in response to what was to be on your agenda. Or maybe not quite on your agenda because you all aren't going to take up this issue, but they were coming to speak to you, to talk about this event. They didn't show. I don't see a single person in this room, unless I'm mistaken, that's here for them. That should tell you something. I have struggled for the past few days with the idea of speaking here tonight. I've struggled not because I wouldn't or couldn't find the right words to say, but I struggled for the same reason that those people that didn't show up tonight, that caused this issue to be on tonight's agenda, why they're not present, because they would have to face something that is ugly, gross, and disgusting. Yes, you heard me right. Some of the people behind this nonsense, actually all of the people behind this nonsense, are either on vacation that they didn't plan this week, they knew it was coming, but they stirred up the group and then hightailed it out of town. Or there are other people who aren't here because they're afraid of the retaliation that will happen to them as being a business owner, a law enforcement, maybe a pastor, I don't know, but they're not here either. They don't have the courage to walk in this hall and face the people that they've attacked behind closed doors. We know what's happened. We've seen what got put on social media for the group behind closed doors, that their exact words were, "Don't show this on social media because it'll get those that are opposed to show up." Well, they got their point. They made it. We're here. In the last few hours, it's become clear to me that my voice is not to be hidden, denied, or silenced. No one's voice is, including the ones that have a problem. They still have a right to come, and they should. I think they're coming next time. We'll be here again, just so you know. The difference between my voice and the voice of many that showed up today in complete disgust and bewilderment of the vicious words spewed behind closed doors and on paper is that we have no intention of being hateful. If you follow what pride is about, it's the opposite of shame. Pride is about being proud of who you are. I'm proud of you all as my city council. I don't agree with everything you do, but I'm proud of you that you serve our community. We're not going to be shamed. So no, we come here today just like we did at the Pride event to celebrate the goodness and humanity, the love of all people regardless of what they call themselves or how they see themselves. The people that have jumped on this bandwagon in our community are just like the rest around this country that have lost sight in the faith in humanity. They've lost the ability to love thy neighbor, but instead they'll spout from their religion, their so-called Bibles, that when someone is different, it's okay to be a sinner.
30 seconds.
Thank you. How do I know this? The very words they tried to keep secret were offensive and wrong, and they knew it. They shared info amongst themselves and told each other not to share it on social media. Don't let it get out, because pass this letter along. Be careful not to post it on social media, or the opposing side will make a show of us. Really? Make a show of you? They made a show of themselves by believing that everyone believes the way they do. And I would just like to say, I sent one message to one person, and there's a numerous amount of people in this room that are here because of that one message. We're here, we're queer, we're not going away. And we're also not coming for your children. As a former teacher,
Thank you, Kara. Joel?
Hello, hello. Pull out my notes here.
State your full name, Joel, and
My name's Joel Mosman,
you're a citizen of Guthrie.
citizen of Guthrie. I've been here, well, I'm business owner in Guthrie, excuse me. Been here 13 years, about. I want to thank everyone on the city council for offering this platform for us to come and speak our voice. Thanks the police for being here, and thanks to all friends and family that are here, and special shout out to our AV team over here. So I'm a straight male, a father, a husband, and a Jesus follower. I attended the Pride event at the shops in downtown Guthrie with my children. And while there may be many who claim to know what is best for my children, allow me to offer some insight on my decision to attend the Pride event with my kids, even though I knew there would be a person dressed in drag reading books. Some people may find that controversial, but I have a very simple reason for doing so. It's because I've seen too many children suffer from depression because they are different from others. I have seen too many children who don't fit in, and they've been rejected, and they end up homeless or addicted or in trouble with the law. Many of the people I went to school with were like that, many of the people in this community. I've seen too many parents cry because their child, who belongs to the LGBT community, took their own life, as Kaylin spoke about. I've seen too many people who are just like us, the people in this room, people just like us who are unwelcome in public places and in churches and as they walk down the street or wherever they are, all because of the way they choose to identify or the way they choose to dress. I attended the Pride event because I wanted my children to hear stories from people who were unique, people who were different, and people who had faced depression. I wanted my children to listen and empathize with their experiences. I wanted my children to learn to love and accept people who are not like them. That is why I took my kids to the Pride event. I am against bullying, hatred, and bigotry in any form. Contrary to what some people have said on social media, I did not see anything inappropriate or offensive at the event. I saw hugs, smiles, and joy. I saw people celebrating their diversity and creativity. And I saw people who make Guthrie a wonderful place, just like everyone here. They were welcomed at this event. It was just like any other event. It was like Red Brick Nights or the Arts Festival or anything else we do in downtown Guthrie. It was no different. So the question is, do we want to drive people away from Guthrie because they're different? Do we want to exclude people based on their race, religion, orientation, or appearance? Or do we want to embrace them as part of our community? I teach my children to be inclusive and respectful of others, and no matter who they grow up to be, I will love them and support them. And I will stand with those who do the same. Sheltering our children from diversity will only harm them. But teaching them to love and accept others will help them grow as human beings. And I just wanted to offer that just as a little bit of insight because it seems like that seems to be the hot button issue. And I think there's a big misunderstanding. I think a lot of folks just don't understand. It's not about indoctrinating children. It's not about trying to create gay children or anything like that. It's about acceptance. It's about love and it's about community. And that's what we are. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Joel. Shelby, Lane? Shelby? Shelley? Sorry, Shelley.
No, it's my apologies, I have no handwriting.
State your full name.
My name is Shelley Lute, and I am a citizen of Guthrie. This does seem like it's. I have lived here off and on my entire life, went kindergarten through 12th grade here. I've got a couple of members up there, went to school with. Moved back, like many young people in Guthrie, couldn't wait to get out of it when I was 17. Moved back in my 20s and have been back ever since, and came back to raise my son here. As an adult, I see the value in Guthrie in a small town like this. So the reason I'm here is because some of the things shared on social media by the people opposed to the Pride event specifically mentioned that some of the ways we tried to target children was by offering free hugs. So I took that as an insinuation about the Free Mom Hugs organization. I'm wearing their shirt tonight. I've been a volunteer for Free Mom Hugs for 5 years now. coincidentally, the same amount of time I've been a CASA, which is a court-appointed special advocate for children. I've worked with 5 kids in 4 different cases as a CASA volunteer. And if you don't know, I'll just briefly say, we advocate for children who are in foster care, have been removed from their home due to abuse and neglect. 100% volunteer, just like Free Mom Hugs. Free Mom Hugs does not target children. It's not even intended for children. It sort of started for young adults who have been rejected by their family, just to let them know there is an adult that cares about you. I'm not even a hugger. Anybody that knows me, I'm just saying, anybody that knows me knows I don't like hugs. They're awkward for me. I don't enjoy them. But it's a cause that I believe in, just like I believe in being a CASA volunteer and doing what I do for children. So if anybody is unfamiliar with the Free Mom Hugs organization or just wants to know more about it, whether you've never heard of it before or you've heard bad things or good things, anything, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to share my story. Also, CASA, we need more CASA volunteers. Sorry, I had to plug that. And thank you, everyone, for your time.
Felix Sharp.
Hi, I'm Felix Sharp, and I'm a citizen of Guthrie. I'm a little anxious, y'all. I don't usually do this. It's kind of spur of the moment, so bear with me. Maybe God will bless me without having to stutter, and I'll get through to my point. I just want to say, first of all, I moved here to Guthrie about a year and, I don't know, 6 months ago, 7 months ago. When I moved here, I didn't know what to expect. I moved here, I was here a few years ago. I was actually homeless, and my kind parents let me stay at their house and an air mattress to help me get back on my feet. A stubborn young adult, I ended up leaving, and while I was gone, I heard of a gang of people, don't know who they are, and it doesn't matter to me, that were going around and hurting people, actually physically harming people because of their orientation. I also heard of a story of a man shooting another man over an anger situation, but that got turned into a race thing. My point to this, I am well known in this town, maybe not by a lot, by a few, and I'm very much gay, and as you look at me and you say, oh, your name's Felix, you're like, oh, okay, okay. I've had that conversation before. But the small people that I've had that have quietly come to me and in support and love, I appreciate that. It makes me feel safe in something that I haven't felt my whole life. Thank you for supporting us, for opening that up, and for the woman that I saw shaking because she isn't in support and I saw you, I won't point you out, but I love you. And if there's grace for me, there's grace for you. And we can build a team and a community for everybody. And I hope that we can, as a community, build this and get better and stronger and have better conversations. Thank you.
Jamie Mungaya. I'm sure I messed that one up, Jamie. You can straighten it up from the podium right there.
I would have to go after that. Let me get my notes here. My name is Jamie Mungai. I am a resident of Guthrie. I'm a graduate of, I'm not even reading what's on here. Sorry, I'm going to go back and read. First, I would like to say thank you. It was very important to Steph Fortney that we all thank the council, the police, the animal shelter, and the municipal government for allowing the permit for everyone to gather. Okay, again, my name is Jamie Moonguy, like the moon. I'm a Guthrie High School graduate, as well as both of my children are. There's one over there. Say hi. I taught special education for 18 years. 11 of them were in Guthrie. Before I became a licensed professional counselor, I chose to open my private practice in Guthrie to offer counseling service to an underserved population. I do specialize in children and adults that are diagnosed with autism. but I have a very large, growing subset of people that have autism that are also in the LGBTQ community. I attended the Pride event in the heat. It was very hot. I watched Steph Fortney offer cold water to the people who were protesting, which was refused. I saw another supporter, Donna, who was also giving free hugs, offer them an umbrella to get out of the heat, which they refused. I heard Steph Fortney encourage everyone to just enjoy the day and to please not say anything rude or disrespectful to the protesters, that we were here for our reason, they were there for theirs. I listened to a mom of a young boy that wanted to know why the people across the street were so mad at us. And the mom said, honey, they just don't like what some of these people over here want for their lives. And he very intelligently said, well, we don't all have to like everything everyone does, right? To which she said, yes, let's go. Do you want to go play with some bubbles? I enjoyed watching children, adolescents smile, make new friends, relate to one another. There was a core group of probably between 12 and 16-year-olds that were hugging and talking, and when I asked them, how long have you guys been friends? They had just met. But they felt so open to be there with everyone that they just made new friendships because they were able to be themselves. I think the main reason I wanted to come is I felt my integrity was called upon when they were talking about the free hugs as if that was something gross. But like Shelley explained, it's the free mom hugs that was there. I'm not a big fan of hugs, but I do believe if you need a hug, you need a hug. But my main reason that I offer a safe place in my counseling office, which is covered in rainbows, because I love rainbows. But I offer a safe place for people to come because out of the youth suicide, there were 45% of youth LGBTQ children that contemplated suicide last year. 48%. And out of heteronormative or straight kiddos, it was 10%. Just that number alone tells me that we need more safe places. And it wasn't because of their confused feelings, because of their family. It was because of fear of society and how they felt hated just for being who they were. And that's it, just for being who they were. I want to show people love and caring, give them concern through their struggles because representation matters. I also purchased the book that Miss Vera Ball read. I had one that said, drag queens go swish, swish, swish. It followed Wheels on the Bus. She would not read it. I had one about queer families having children. She would not read it. She only read the one that says it's okay to be different, which didn't talk at all about the queer community. And I feel like that was her attempt, as she said, to just keep it even and safe. And I think that says something if you have to think about what you're reading to a child as safe when all of the books were written for children. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
just want to say bye.
And Reverend Katrina Richardson.
I'm Katrina Richardson, and I am a citizen of Guthrie. And I have the honor and privilege of serving a church here in Guthrie. And let me tell you a little bit about those pews. They are full of red and full of blue. It's a very purple church. And in this purple church, the reason why it works is because we focus on something bigger than ourselves. We focus on God, and we focus on loving each other. And if that can happen in a church, listening and empathy and resiliency in hard times together, why can't that happen in the city of Guthrie? I believe it can. And I think the opportunities to listen to each other, especially those that you don't agree with, deeply hearing them, is an opportunity to build relationship. And when we have relationship, if we know each other for long enough, we can't help but love each other. This is a great community. So my challenge to all of those in this community is to love everyone and to invite someone to lunch that you don't agree with. Not to get your point across, but to hear what they're saying. And go to a local restaurant, please. We have lots of good ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend. That completes all of the individuals that had signed the forms. There's somebody that thought they signed one and I didn't call them. Please let me know, but that's all I have. So thank you all for sharing and being a part of this community. Item number 3 is our consent agenda. We have just one item on the consent agenda. This is the approval of the Public Works Authority meeting of June 30th. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
A motion and a second.
Second.
Is there any other discussion? Submit your votes, please.
I'll vote for it.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from the council president to approve the consent agenda, item A. Item number 4, discussion and possible action to approve the revised task force number 163 with Myers Engineering related to the water supply system study. Eddie, are you taking that?
Yes, Mayor and Council. What you have before you for this item is a presentation from the City Engineer Bill Myers to conduct a water supply study for the City of Guthrie, and that will be at no charge to the City of Guthrie, utilizing a credit that we have on hand with Myers Engineering in the amount of $65,000. So, Bill, if you'd like to elaborate on this, feel free. Absolutely, yes, sir.
Thank you, Council. We're excited about this opportunity to do a water study for you. I think we're at a point with your water supply that we really need to look at other ways to augment the supply, different alternatives that are out there. We have a lot of ideas that we've been kicking around for years, and this is going to give us an opportunity to vet those ideas, to put them in a form to where we can really just sink our teeth in them, so to speak, and start planning, look at some cost, look at the feasibility of developing some alternates. You know, so we've had more rain. I was at a meeting today, they said we've had more rain in June than we've had, and I forget how many years, multiple years, but not in South County. And South County is where our drainage basin is for our lakes. And so we need to do something so we don't go through this again. And I know we're making it through it. It's going to be okay. But we'd like to get some ideas to where we can just give us a level of comfort for the future so that we don't have to worry about these extended periods where it doesn't rain in South County. So that's really what we're hoping to get out of this, and we'll be presenting it in steps as we go through the process. And other than that, we're really excited about it. So we're open for questions. We just appreciate the opportunity of being involved with Guthrie. We've been here for probably 23 years, I think. We've been helping y'all, and we just want to take it more of it. So.
Your time's up.
And I'm not a citizen of Guthrie.
Wait a minute. Bill, any questions from council?
Yeah.
Bill?
What's the idea behind this? Are we wanting to look at going to Langston and maybe getting water from their lake? Or are we considering building another lake, which is what I'd like to see done, but
Well,
that's
there's,
just my
I
opinion.
don't want to mention them all now, but there's more groundwater up north of us than we could probably ever use.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of surface water we're not capturing.
Right.
like when I was a kid, we lived on Highway 74 in Cottonwood Creek, and they were talking about the lake that was gonna come. That, in our lifetime, that's not gonna happen, okay? But there might be some other things we could look at. But as far as the option of going, we've looked at that a little bit in the past, about going off to the east. But that's one thing we'll mention, vet it out some. But there are some other options, I think some low-hanging fruit that we can get a hold of that might get us way down the road. Now, if we get back to normal rainfall patterns, here's my concern. The reason why I'm sort of wanting to do this now, here's what happens. We get to go through these periods and the rain comes back. Everybody forgets about it. Right. And then it comes back again. It's already happened 2 times before this time that I've been here working for you, and we got to do something. So the Cottonwood Creek is great, okay? It's a great supply, and someday, Oklahoma City's not going to discharge as much water as they're doing now. They're going to cut it in half because they're going to reuse their water because they need the water. Then we're going to lose some Cottonwood Creek flow. That's one thing I'm looking at is how we're going to deal with that. Maybe we need to do some reuse with our wastewater ultimately, not now. Ultimately, but we've got to be in a position with the plan we're doing, the first step to getting us to where we can reuse that water in some form with some other, some tertiary treatment, but we're on our way. So, anyway.
And why is Myers Engineering giving this to us for free? Because they're a great company, that's why. I'm serious.
No, we are.
I'm for real.
Well,
That's for real.
We're building against a credit that was derived through a misunderstanding about billing procedures. So
Well, it's because you're a great company.
Well, I believe, thank you for.
You're welcome.
Brian,
See?
thank you.
I give you all kinds of
I
kudos.
don't know what to say, but thank you.
You don't have to say anything.
Thank you, man.
I did
Any other questions?
I did have a question. So, you mentioned the aquifer. I used to be the trustee for the city of Guthrie on the Garber Wellington. Have we done any impact studies on using or utilizing some of the Garber Wellington?
We've started it, and that's,
Okay.
I want to bring that data together in this study. We have wells in the Garber now.
Right.
And I want to look at the cost of bringing them into a usable condition. And what do we do with the water? Do we bring it to the lake? Do we put it into the raw line? Do we use it, in another way? And put some cost to it too. That's the other thing. Whatever we do, there is a cost component. And yeah, so the Garber is an option. The Garber is a wonderful aquifer, and it is affected somewhat by drought, but not in the same way that the terrace deposits or the alluvium is, or surface water, obviously.
So are we looking across the rivers, or we're looking at up around the Creston area? Is that what we're talking about, bringing water down from up there, or where?
I'm not really saying that right now.
What he's looking at is a complete study on to guide us where to go moving
Yeah.
forward.
The whole thing.
Yeah, there is
Don't
water.
think option.
Yeah.
I know.
But I'm not saying that.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion then to approve the revised task
moved.
order.
Second.
Any other discussion? Submit your votes, please.
All votes for it.
See the votes. Unanimous.
Thanks again, Bill. Thanks again.
Unanimous approval then to approve the revised task order number 163 for a no-charge water supply study by Mr. Bill Myers and Company. Item number 5, discussion possible action to approve amendment number 3 to the owner-engineer agreement for professional services with Myers Engineering related to the wastewater treatment plant. Eddie, are you taking the lead?
Yes, sir. Mayor and council, this item has been continued from the second meeting in May. At this time, city staff, as well as councilors Bothroyd, Williams, and Vice Mayor Aguirre, I believe we're all on the same page that this amendment, as well as amendment number 4, are in order and ready to be approved and paid. So that is staff's recommendation.
I move to approve it.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion by the council? Submit your votes.
All votes for it.
See the votes. Unanimous approval by all the council to approve amendment number 3 to the professional services agreement with Myers Engineering. Item number 6, discussion possible action to approve amendment number 4 with the owner engineering agreement with professional services of Myers Engineering concerning the inspection services related to, again, wastewater treatment plant.
Yes, sir. Mayor and council, this item will take us through the completion of the project for inspection services. So the last item brought us up to date. This item will take us through completion.
So moved. Second.
A A motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes right.
See the votes. Unanimous approval to approve amendment number 4 to the agreement with Myers Engineering for the completion of inspection services through the completion of the...
Eddie, how much longer will it be before the wastewater treatment plant's online?
I will defer to the city engineer.
Okay.
Tentative.
You don't have to get up, just, you can.
Okay, so, they're looking at trying to do some startup, we're looking at August.
Okay.
So,
We're getting close.
that's what we're thinking about.
Good.
Those amendments take us to October 18th. We're believing that that last stretch of the road will be just, will already be operating the plant as well, the lab will be completed, things like that, final grade one.
Okay, thank you.
That is a tentative date, so just keep that in mind.
That's okay. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
I said we're relieving.
Yeah.
Okay, again, that's unanimous approval of amendment number 4. Item number 7, discussion and possible action to approve a disbursement request number 17 for $388,000 and disbursement request for number 24 in the amount of $102,000 for expenditures relating to the construction and inspection of the wastewater treatment plant.
Yes, Mayor and Council, these are the forms that Kim completes and sends in on the loans related to the wastewater treatment plant construction. As you'll recall, at the last meeting, I did share with you that those will in the future be coming forward to you for approval. At this time, if you have any questions, I'll defer to Kim as to the form itself.
Okay, any questions of Kim? Owned by the council. I'll entertain a motion then.
So moved.
In a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes right.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to approve
It
the...
wasn't unanimous.
Oh, I'm
There's-
sorry. I'm sorry.
But
Sorry.
did you intend?
Sorry.
Oh,
It's by... It is now unanimous.
if you want to vote no, that's fine. I just
No.
He's being rebellious.
That's voting, good, good.
Item
Item number 8, discussion and possible action to approve change order number 4, increasing the contract amount by approximately $284,000 and adding 42 calendar days to the contract, again concerning the wastewater treatment plant.
Yes, Mayor and Council, Tenny and Bill will tag team this item.
Okay, this item was brought up real vaguely at the last meeting as well, kind of forewarning you of this change order that we'd have coming forth. This will increase the original contract by $283,943.05. The original bid item for this scope of work allowed for an application rate of 4 pounds per square foot. The final application rate that was determined after the ponds were excavated and we determined what the soil conditions actually were, came to roughly 6.95 pounds per square foot. The fact, coupled with roughly 30% increase in the price from December 2020 as well, to present day for material itself, means that an adjustment was needed for this pay item. The original amount of material needed at the 4 pounds application rate was approximately 420 tons. The amount needed after soil testing for the application rate was 6.95 pounds, which is 800 tons. The original price of the bentonite that was mixed with the soil, that will be mixed with the soil to seal these bottoms of the ponds at our wastewater treatment plant, would have been $201.50 per ton, and the current pricing for the material that was selected is $257 per ton. The two facts alone create a price increase of $112,507. In addition to these costs, the contractors having to handle and apply 174% more material than what was in the original scope of work. This quantity increase will mean it will take approximately 3 weeks longer to complete the installation of the process in the ponds, or a total additional 240 crew hours. The fact will increase the cost of the pay item by $134,400, bringing the total project change to $283,943.05 with the additional 42 calendar days.
Any questions of Kenny?
So
Okay,
moved.
I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
And a second. Any other discussion? Just for those of you out there, this is a $14 million bill or? 20 million project for wastewater treatment, probably one of the biggest projects that the city has ever conducted. So these numbers sound big, but it's a huge.
These are to make sure the toilet's flush.
Yeah.
Everything continues to roll down here.
So it's a good thing, okay. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and submit your votes, please.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approvals, totally unanimous this time, to approve that change order number 4. With that, our Public Works Authority meeting today is adjourned, and I open our City Council meeting of Tuesday, July 18th. Second item on the agenda is the consent agendas, item A, B, C, and D. A is the approval of the City Council meeting of June 20th. B is the approval of payment to Park Hill Engineering in the amount of $3,000 for, that's at the airport. C is the approval of change order number 1 with Voss Lighting, decreasing the contract that they have for City Hall building.
Leave it right as it gets exciting.
And D is the approved payment of invoice for $26,000 from Voss Lighting for services provided at City Hall. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion of the consent agenda items? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
Let's see the votes. Unanimous approval then of consent agenda items A, B, C, and D. Item number 3, discussion and possible action to accept and approve a grant agreement with ACOG for the amount of $740,000 for the coronavirus response and relief supplement appropriations. Tenny, you want to speak to that issue, please?
Yes, Mayor. This grant was brought to you originally, and I say originally, this is the third time now we've brought forth this grant to at least some of the council members, street committee at least once. Originally, we had done a resolution, council approved a resolution back authorizing $125,940 of our street CIP funds to be included with this project. And then once the actual awards were let through ACOG, it was told to us that it was a 100% funded grant, that they would fund the full $625,940. Then funds transferred over to ODOT's hands from ACOG's hands, and then once ODOT got it, they tacked on their 6% construction and engineering fee that they do on every project, as well as implemented the fact that we had to utilize ODOT pricing index. We touched on that a little bit at our last meeting.
This is a sidewalk deal we're talking about.
This is our street paving project.
Okay.
It will pave 3 streets in town, a portion of Pine, a segment of East Oklahoma, actually 2 pieces of East Oklahoma. The total project now comes to $740,230.97. We are still well within our original budget when we had discussed it, and council approved the resolution for us to utilize the $125,000 through our street CIP funds. More or less bringing this back to council to bring you guys back up to speed where we are currently now back to utilizing that original 120-some thousand from our street CIP funds with the 100% funded grant to move this project forward and authorize the mayor to sign the contract or agreement.
Any other questions of Kenny?
Has this been the mess that- Has this been the mess that you and I've gone down to several times when I've served on ACOG? Is that what this is still dragging along? And we're just finally getting it finished up?
No.
Or is this totally different?
I think this is a
More
total
recent,
different
is it?
one,
Okay.
yeah.
More recent.
I think maybe you were referring back
Second.
to the SDBG.
I've gone.
I believe we have a motion.
In a second.
Yes, you do. Is there any other questions of Kenny? Submit your votes.
Been a long day.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then to accept and approve the revised grant agreement with ACOG as presented. Item number 4, discussion and possible action to accept and approve the donation of Yangi
UNAC.
Typhoon? Yunek, is it?
UNAC.
Typhoon drone for the Guthrie Fire Department from Paul Jones.
Sorry,
Chief,
I was late.
First
earlier.
time at the,
Had a significant call, so
yeah.
I had to go help the EMS
Okay.
crew. A gentleman by the name of Paul Jones came up to our station and brought us a Unix drone, a Typhoon H+, and basically just wanted to donate it to our department for calls that we go on that we can use it with. I wasn't there at the time. I believe I was up here at City Hall with Mr. Faulkner.
He was
and-
with me.
So I didn't get to meet Mr. Jones, but I told him that if we were allowed to accept the drone, I'd like to get him back up to the station and properly thank him for the donation. We have currently, I reached out to the guys, we have 4 guys interested in going and taking a class because you have to get certified to fly the thing. We have 1 actually that's already certified, and we'd be taking it on like grass fires, house fires, stuff like that. We can pop it up and get an aerial view, because there's several times when we have these wildfires out in county that we're relying on the news helicopters. So this is just a tool that we can put in our bag and use if we're allowed to accept it.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes. See the votes. Unanimous approval then to accept the donation of the drone by Mr. Jones for the fire department. Item number 5, city manager report.
I'm going to try to be brief.
You have 5
I
minutes.
got you on 5 minutes.
Yeah. We spent all day together. I don't
Yeah.
know how much more you need. A couple of quick things I want to make sure the council's aware. We've experienced some loss as of late. The water treatment plant superintendent has been out for quite some time with some health issues. Unfortunately, on Friday, he did pass away. So we send our condolences to the family. He will leave a huge hole at the water treatment plant. Randy was a great superintendent from what I'm told. The entire time I've been here, he's been out. So we extend our condolences there. In addition to that, Ed Stevenson, those of you who know him, he was in an accident 2 weeks ago and appears to be recovering, but he's got a long road ahead. So if you see Ed, if you see him out, please share your thoughts, condolences as well. I believe there will be a community benefit event coming up soon. Do not have the details on that, but we'll get with you if you would like to have that information. Lake levels with the rain, luckily we're coming up, so Guthrie Lake come up about 1.5 feet in the last 2 weeks. So we're now 6 feet below the spillway. Liberty Lake has come up substantially due to the replacement of the second pump in the Cottonwood Creek. So we're now 2 foot below the spillway. You guys have read most of this in my weekly updates. Real quick, I would also like to mention we were in budget season, and so we're having lots of fun conversations, reviewing capital expenditures and staffing requests. Would also like to congratulate Chief Lawson. This is his first council meeting as fire chief. I will tell you, in almost the month that he has been the fire chief, I think he's outworked all of us. So he is burning the midnight oil, and we appreciate his help. Lastly, I will share, well, two things. Owen Field project, you saw the press release. We discussed that briefly today. We got that project off High Center, received approval for the cultural resource study. So you'll see progress on that. Bill Myers is currently working on updating the task order for that project and moving forward with next steps. Other than that, I will be out the remainder of the week at the City Managers Conference in Broken Arrow. So if you need me, call me. But thank you guys for all of your time today. Appreciate your patience. Thought the retreat went well. Thank you to the staff. Like I say, the last couple of weeks have been pretty high tension trying to get ready for that. So that's all I have.
Very good. Any questions? Okay. Item number 6, comments from members of the City Council. Vice Mayor Gary?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Okay. Councilman Case?
Yeah, I want to thank staff myself for all the hard work they went to get us ready for this retreat, and for putting on all the hard work that went into getting it done. So thanks again. Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
Councilman Williams?
I agree with Jim on that. I thought it was a productive day, and thanks to everybody that had a part in that. It's difficult every year when you come together and you see the needs and you hear the need from every department, and then you try to determine how that's going to be spread out to the best of everybody considered in the city. So that's our job, and I thought the prep for that made our job easy. So thank you for that.
Okay. Councilman Rob?
Yeah, I'd like to just say, now I can officially talk about what everyone talked about at the beginning of the meeting, now that it's been lifted. No matter which side you're on with the Pride event that happened morally, the Constitution and the Supreme Court has already ruled this years ago that they're allowed to have those events. So no matter which side you're on, you know, it was really a clear-cut decision, you know, of what we had to do. It's really just that simple. Again, no matter which side you're on, I always love seeing people coming out and voicing their opinion. And also just note that that would not have been able to happen had we not put that back in a few weeks ago at that council meeting. I'm just pointing that out. Thank you.
Councilman Guthrie?
Well, you know, I want to ditto everybody, but, you know, just like on the Pride event, there's a procedure in place, just so that everybody knows. It really had zero to do with council. The procedure is internal to staff. Council did, though, put the podium back up so people can voice their opinion and voice it freely. And that's what my intention on supporting that, and I support the Pride group as well, but supporting this podium because I think everybody deserves to have a voice no matter what it is. But I just want to let everybody know that there's a procedure in place for any event, and it doesn't come to council. What comes to council is this right here and tonight. So that's all.
Councilman Taylor?
Thank you, staff. We had a great day today. I think we got a lot of stuff accomplished. We got some ideas of what you guys need and what Eddie needs. Hopefully this week move forward. We've got some things that's in the works, so that's going to be good. Thank you, Mr. Myers. I appreciate your work on this. Red Brick Nights, I don't know how many went to that. Evidently it was a great time. We watched the fireworks from our house. You can see it every year we've been able to do that. So I think that's great. And I thank the group tonight for coming and speaking as well.
Okay. I've got a couple plaudits that I'd like to make. One is to the Logan County Master Gardener Group. I don't know if you've walked around the library at all, but they've done a fantastic job with the planting flowers on the various sides of the library. They've also taken on a project on the intersection of Division and Harrison, I think it is, yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Oklahoma, I think. That corner, along with the Jonquil Club, but have done an excellent job of the beautification of our community. Let me also add that if you want to become a Master Gardener, they start classes, I think, at the end of next month. And so just go to Logan County Master Gardeners and you can register for getting into their class. Classes, I think, are about 2 or 3 months in length, once a week. So want to learn more about trees and vegetables and all that kind of stuff?
Where'd they plant the tomatoes this year? I haven't seen them.
I think all in my garden.
So are we gonna pick them from your garden?
No, I'm gonna, I got you to help. Anyway, Master Gardener, good group of people. I do happen to be one, but they've done a number of things to beautify our community, and so thank you very much. The other group that I really want to thank is the Guthrie Chamber of Commerce. They've got a program going on right now to recognize the new teachers that are joining our school system, our Guthrie school system, and they're accepting any kind of donations at all. Fill the bags, I think, is the program for the new teachers. And they also have a Leadership Guthrie that they sponsor. That I believe the application there is again open for about another month or so. But another great program to learn more about this wonderful community and how you can get more involved, but even more knowledgeable about what we do, what our opportunities are, and what a few of our challenges are too. So if you're interested in diving in a little bit deeper, Leadership Guthrie. Guthrie Chamber of Commerce.
Steve, are there any boards available? Board positions?
There are right now. We have got. We have applications for the planning boards and I believe library. And we have applications for both of those.
You mean open?
They're open. Yeah.
Anybody?
Okay. Okay, any last comments for the goodness of the order? That, ladies and gentlemen, we are adjourned. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for your input.